if you have 200 years to live, which we all know we don't, even if you have it, how many of those 200 years do you want to live broke and poor? I want to teach you today is this amazing thing called sense of urgency. See, when you combine sense of urgency with focus, it is unbelievable what can happen to us. And unfortunately, many of us walk around thinking we got another 200 years to live. We don't. I mean, even if you have 200 years to live, I mean, this is how I think, right? Even if you have 200 years to live, which we all know we don't, even if you have it, how many of those 200 years do you want to live broke and poor? If you were to ask me that question, I will say zero. Even if I have 200 years to live, I don't want even 1 year in that 200 years to be where I'm broke and poor. So first of all, we don't have 200 years. You might have how many? I don't know. I mean, even if you're young, there's no guarantee for living up to whenever you think you might live up to, the life expectancy and all that stuff. Our founder, Dato Sri Vijay, has a very favorite phrase that he uses. And he says that if you think you got years to live, just go to the emergency room in the nearby hospital that you have, or go to the mortuary, the morgue, and it will not take long before somebody pushes in a trolley with a person on it who is your age. It won't be long. And that's one thing he told all of us many years back, and that really stuck with me. And I see that happening every day around us. Just because we are young doesn't mean that we got another 50 years to live. But the responsibilities that we have today, you think that will go away just because we cease to live? No. I have my responsibility towards my children, my wife, my siblings, my parents. I have that responsibility. And just because I cease to exist, those responsibilities don't go away. So if you believe that you are responsible for the loved ones around you, then you don't even have 1 day. You cannot even take 1 day for granted. And if you even fail to see all that, let us just assume you got another 50 years to live. Let us assume. Let us say you got a direct phone call from God himself and said, you have 50 years to live, nothing to worry. How many of those 50 years do you want to live broke and poor? Do you actually have 50 years? How many of that are you going to, 1/3 of that you're going to sleep? 50 years, if you sleep for 8 hours a day, 1/3 of those 50 years, that is 15 years, you just have 35 years. When you're awake, you don't have 50 years. And out of that 35 years, how many of that is going to go waste, eating and probably, showering and going to the toilet. I don't know, whatever useless, routine things we all need to do. But, that takes away a few more years. We might have if you think you're going to live another 50 years, you might really have 20 years of real time that you can enjoy. We don't have much time, people. So, sense of urgency is something that happens to you when you know that you don't have much time. Something from not being urgent now becomes urgent. And when you look at your life like that, when you see that, oh my God, I don't have that many years actually, I only have so much. And when you look at your responsibilities of what you need to do, and your goals and your dreams and your ambition that you have, that you want to achieve in these so many, whatever number of years you left with, and you realize that it is so small amount of time that I have at my disposal that I can use to work and achieve my goal, you will have sense of urgency. See, it is not about the 50 years. It is about the time that you actually have where you can work to make your dreams come true. So when people think I got 50 years, they actually think they got 50 years to work on their dreams. No, you don't. You actually have maybe 25, 30% of that time that is available to you to work on your goals and dreams. So every waking moment, every second that is available to us, we got to take it seriously. We cannot waste it. And once you understand this, you will have you will become a different person. You will be so focused because you realize that you don't have much time. And when you combine the focus along with sense of urgency, you know, for a lot of other people who are just observing you, they will think that you've just become magical. All right. And yes, you have become magical, but the reason you've become magical is because you are now focused only on what your responsibilities are and what your goals are. And you realize that every waking second, every second that I have available, I need to use towards that.